Yes, people, welcome back to the channel where today we are talking about he's back. That's his name. He's back.
I'm back.
Mr. Jack Grealish. Because it is so good as a football fan to see this player back with a smile on his face, creating goals for Everton, winning games for Everton, because this guy is a proper Premier League player. He is an England international. And what's happened to him in the last few years is what happens in football. Sometimes the confidence can get sucked out of you, and he wasn't himself at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. But David Moyes, who's the experienced man himself, said, I'm going to chuck you a lifeline. Come over here, be happy, express yourself, and show the world that you can still play football at the highest level. And that is what Jack Grealish has done in the first 3 games of the Premier League season. So let's look at it. Let's talk about Jack Grealish, because I think if there was one player, the top 6 teams, people like me who support Man United, people who support Liverpool, people who support, Chelsea, Arsenal, when he was at Manchester City, you kind of didn't want Jack Grealish to do that great. Let's be honest, not because you don't like Jack Grealish, but because he's at a team that is competing for the Premier League title. He's at a team that are competing for the Champions League. He's at a team that at the time are dominating English football. So you don't really want to see Jack Grealish succeed. But then it got to a point, people, where you kind of felt sorry for him. You kind of looked at Jack Grealish and thought, he's actually wasting his best years, his peak years, at a football team that is not allowing him to be himself, not seeing him get regular starts, not seeing him contribute like he was doing for Aston Villa before he got his move. And you're just thinking it's kind of sad. And, are we looking at a player who epitomized what the Premier League was at that time before he got his move? And you're thinking, we've just seen him waste his career. But of course, he has won trophies at Manchester City. Let's not get it twisted. He's won the Champions League. He's won FA Cups. He's won the Premier League. He's won it all. He's done the treble. And he was an important part of that treble season. That was actually his best season at Man City, where Jack Grealish actually got 5 goals, 7 assists. And look, that's not great returns. But in terms of Jack Grealish, that was the season he played the most football for Man City, 28 games, 5 goals, 7 assists. And he did contribute massively in terms of winning the league and helping them win that famous Champions League. But that's not what the numbers, are looking like for Jack Grealish. That's not what he wants to be contributing. He wants to be doing more than that. He wants to be impacting the team and being known as a regular player. And unfortunately, it just hasn't happened for him. But what we're seeing at Everton so far, I am so happy for him. I'm so happy to see it, because the football in me wants to see someone like Jack Grealish go out there and express himself and be the best version of himself. And look, Jack Grealish is 29 now. Yeah, he's 30 literally next week. And you're looking at it and you're thinking maybe he's got a few years left at the highest level. And David Moyes, thank you. Everton Football Club, thank you, because you have signed this player. And all of a sudden, you're seeing him play with a smile on his face. He's posting on social media how much he's enjoying his football again. The Everton faithful are loving him already. And most importantly, he's contributing to them winning games. And that is what Jack Grealish wants to be doing. So how have Everton started to get the best out of him? Well, first of all, Jack Grealish himself has come out and said, look, David Moyes has said to me, yeah, I'm going to be playing on the left-hand side. But he is going to give me the license to roam. He's going to be the license to be free and enjoy myself, because a confident and happy Jack Grealish is going to help Everton win games. And that is as simple as that. From where Everton have been in the last few years, trying to come back up, trying to get into the top 10, they've lacked that quality. And what they've done so far in this transfer window has shown they've got the quality. I've done a video on Everton's rebuild, and if you guys haven't seen it, please go and check it out. I hope you'll like it. But, they've got Ilman and Dye. They've got Dewsbury Hall. You've got Tierno Barry. You've got now Jack Grealish. You look at Alcaraz, who can play in midfield and across the midfield. When you look at what Everton are doing, Tyler Dibling coming in, there's a lot of names there I've just named. And, they're players that instantly improve Everton Football Club. They're players that instantly can start. But when you look at Jack Grealish, you look at him and you think Ndai and Jack Grealish, they're the stars. They're the main guys. They're the catalysts that are going to help Everton get consistently form, win games, and so forth. And Jack Grealish right now, you're looking at him, and I think the difference between him and what he was at Manchester City is the license to be free, the license to enjoy himself. Because David Moyes has said to him, look, you can go out and play on that left-hand side. You can sometimes hug the touchline. But also, you can drift into the middle. You can drop deep and pick up the ball. Because what is the best attributes of Jack Grealish, what we saw at Aston Villa? We saw him picking up the ball from deep, driving of it, ball carrying, winning fouls, creating, causing a bit of chaos because he's so strong physically on the ball, but he can travel with it as well with his low center of gravity, even though he's quite a stocky guy. And that at Everton is what we're seeing so far. He's already got 4 assists in 3 Premier League games. You know, he got 2 against Wolves. He got 2 against Brighton. He obviously, Everton away at Leeds was the first game of the season. It's going to be a bit of a raucous atmosphere. But when you look at the last 2 games and what Jack Grealish is already contributing, you're looking at him and thinking he has to play every game for Everton. Him and Ndai are the 2 main focal points of that attack because the strikers are rotating with Tierno Barry and Beto. And then you look at, obviously, the central of the park. Dewsbury Hall can play there. Alcaraz can play there. You know, you've got different players that can play in that position. But right now, you're looking at Ndai and Grealish on the flanks, and they are the main catalysts. And I think what Everton have got in Jack Grealish is a player that knows the Premier League, a player that wants to get back playing to the best of his ability, but also a player that is sneakily thinking, I can get back in that World Cup squad. And there's no bigger motivation than a football player saying, I've been selected for my team to get back into that World Cup squad. That is the pinnacle of the pinnacle. And right now, when I look at it, I'm not a betting man, but Jack Grealish was 5-1 to get into that to the World Cup squad about a month ago. He's now 11-10. That shows you everyone is clocking on to the form. People are latching on to Jack Grealish can be back to his best, and a very good Jack Grealish gets into that England team, no doubt, because he can travel with the ball. He has got intelligent IQ. He is strong. He's the type of player in games when you're winning 1-0 or 2-1 and you need the ball held up in the last 5-10 minutes. He retains the ball so well. There's no one better really than Jack Grealish in saying, right, give you that ball and just keep it, wind down the clock. He gives Everton excitement. He brings bums off seats. Now Everton fans are looking at him when Jack Grealish is getting the ball in the Hill Dickinson Stadium and they're thinking something's going to happen. He's taking on his man 1v1, down the byline, cutting inside. His timing of when to release the ball, his timing of when to shoot. He's a very intelligent footballer. And Jack Grealish has been there and done it. You've got to respect his career, people, because now at Everton, he's going to be able to now showcase himself and hopefully have a very good, productive season and maybe get into that England squad. But also, we can't forget what he has done, you know? Jack Grealish was at Aston Villa, captaining his boyhood club, helping them get promoted from the Championship. He came into the Premier League, helped them come up the table as club captain of his boyhood team. Yeah, his contributions weren't amazing, but in his last season, he did get 6 goals, 10 assists. That's 16 contributions. The year before that, 8 goals, 6 assists, played 36 games. He was a staple in that team in that 1920 and 2021 season. Before then, he got his move to Manchester City. And then you look at his move to Manchester City. Yes, it hasn't quite worked out, but he's gone there and he's decorated. He's won the trophies that you'd want to win, which is everything. He's won everything you could name, you can think of. But he wasn't quite happy. And what you've got to think about is he was so happy at Aston Villa, yet he didn't even bring them a major trophy. But yet he goes to Manchester City, wins everything, and he's not quite happy within himself. So it shows you the 2 different sides of football, playing for your boyhood team, but not winning anything and loving it, going to a team where you win trophies, but you're not quite happy. And your career's going by and you only get one shot at it. And this is why this move to Everton makes perfect sense now, because they've got a new stadium. They've got a manager that's trusted in David Moyes. They're going for a new type of attack with Tierno Barry, Tyler Diblin, Ilman Ndiaye, Carlos Alcaraz. They're trying to go into the transfer market, think different, build different. And now he's going to be part of that core foundation. And it's amazing for Jack Grealish because I actually think right now this is the perfect club for him to be at. A club that's going to give him the keys, a club that's going to give him guaranteed minutes, a club that is saying go out and play with freedom and enjoy yourself. And that is going to allow Jack Grealish to be himself again, dropping deep, ball carrying, creating, scoring goals, and maybe getting back in his England team. And just as a football fan in general, I have to say, I'm so happy seeing this for Jack Grealish. I do feel like that. And I feel like you guys watching this right now, whether you're Evertonian fans or whether you're football fans in general, you can just sit there and say, do you know what? It's good to see Jack Grealish doing his thing in the Premier League because who doesn't want to see it? Because he's an exciting player. He's a player that can cause any team in the top 6 problems. He's going to help Everton get some shock results and some big results that might actually impact the top side of the Premier League. So I think, this upside of Jack Grealish, this turn of Jack Grealish, I just think it deserves a shout out because I'm really happy for him just from a footballing perspective, because I can see the smile on his face. I can see the enjoyment. And you know me, I'm quite a deep person. With friends, with family, I always like having deep chats. And I always say about, you know, life, you have one shot at it. You know, when you're at work, which is work for Jack Grealish when he's playing football, you're there more than 50% of the time of your life. So you want to be happy doing that, because then it can impact your family life. It can impact your friendships. It can impact just your personality yourself. And, you know, you want to be happy. And sometimes, you know, even in normal life, if you take a bit of a less salary just to be happy and you feel benefits from it mentally, then amazing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to take a little step back to then push forward again. And that's what it seems like Jack Grealish is doing. And he has done. And right now, he's reaping the rewards. He's reaping the benefits. And he's at a club like Everton that seem to be on that upward trajectory. And I think it's very exciting for Everton fans that you've got someone at 29 that's still got 3-4 years left in him at the highest level. And hopefully you guys can now see that consistently. But let's see what happens, because obviously you can buy him at the end of the season, I believe. But hopefully he can carry on his form, carry on the progression, and give you guys a reason to smile when you go into home games and when you're going to away games. But Jack Grealish, I think you deserve this video, because, you know, you've been through a difficult period, and there's nothing better than, you know, football fans seeing you play with a smile on your face and causing chaos and causing teams problems. Guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Please also check out my Everton rebuild video if you guys are Evertonians watching this. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you scroll down, it's on the channel. But guys, like this video, subscribe. On my way to 5K, and I'll see you on the next one. Bless up.